Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to today's live stream. It's been a while, I've been very busy, but I wanted to go over some of the changes for Blender 5.0 because there has been a major feature sprint. The deadline for 5.0 features has been moved back a week, I think from October 3rd, 2nd or to the 8th. I think the end is the 8th now. But basically, a lot of features are getting finalized and being implemented. One thing to note is that it seems like the attribute constraint that I was working on will not be able to be included into Blender 5.0 due to a developer goal change that happened during the conference. I'll need to get more details on that. But it seems like they'll be looking into making a generalized version that can use bundles to get like a lot more attributes rather than just what I had planned. So that one may not happen, but we will see. Okay, other than that, let's go and take a look at this. I just got the main points, not the entire thing, just brought them in because that was more convenient. So, Alembic, support import of additional point cloud attribute types. Now this is amazing. Alembics have been a little bit lacking compared to USDs for a while. Just in terms of attribute support, and now point clouds are supporting more attributes. Now let me go and check if this, I haven't tested this yet because again, lack of time, but I'm going to go and check the commit really quick, or the pull request. There we go. Let's see, I'm checking this on the side. Okay, so it should, okay, it looks like it supports colors, floats, vectors, so I'm assuming almost everything, hopefully also matrix attributes, but I would assume so, given the nature of the pull request. But yes, we can see that animation's got some stuff, attributes, make ID attributes generic instead built in. I heard that this also was applied to a couple of other attributes, just so that they're generic. Yes. No news on vertex groups becoming generic, though I do foresee that happening in the near future based on the new modifier stuff, which we will get into. So, let's see. There are new modifiers. We can see that there's a new array modifier, and the legacy one has been, well, marked as legacy. Curve to tube has been added, and scatter on surface. Basically, any of the ones that don't have an icon at the moment are new. Pablo, I think put out a little like, hey, help us with the icons and all that. Little call to action right there. There's ones like geometry inputs, and well, no, I think those are my library. But a few other ones, some with instances, so that'll be quite cool. I'll go over those in a second, but I want to go over more of these parts. So geometry node's got UV tangent node. We have been waiting for this for a long time, to the point where I have been using my own UV tangent node. As we can see here, this is the new node, and then let's see, UV tangent. This is the one that I cooked up years ago, I think. Oh, and we can also see the new group UI right here, which some people have been half and half about. I think it's fine. Like, though on a YouTube video, people would not be able to tell that this is a node group, so they would think that it's built in Blender. That's the only big thing that I can see being an issue. Like, again, all this. Or is it just me? Have the nodes changed a little bit in shape? I know that they're square now, but it seems things, maybe it's the theme that's a little bit different. Maybe it's that they're faded out, but they look good. The only possible confusion being, oh, what's a node group and what's built into Blender. But yes, UV tangents, these ones are, I believe, smoothed by default. Let's actually go and take a nice little look at all this. So let's add in a couple of objects, right? Oh, wait, what the heck? Okay, I assume that is a glitch. Maybe some of that generic attribute stuff happening. Okay, so first glitch, 4 minutes in, so not the worst, but that is very interesting. I have not encountered anything like that before. Okay, unfortunately, I do not have time to debug that. But here we go. Let's go and get just the UV map, and then take a look at this. Okay, as we can see, yep, that looks like UV tangents right there. Let's make sure that's on the face corner domain. They look pretty good. Now, Exact is using let's take a look at the tooltip, the MICT Space Library. I did not pronounce that correctly, but that one's consistent. And then fast is about 4 times faster. But as we can see, there are a few little changes right there. Actually, pretty big changes. But yeah, I assume that on a surface that has more faces, the difference is somewhat diminished. But yep, both of them are at our disposal, basically making it so that we no longer need to use our own inbuilt node groups. It's probably quite a bit faster than the node group version as well. So finally, we have UV tangents, which is so nice, so nice, so nice. Okay, let's take a look at my little screenshots right here. It's funny that that's more convenient than pulling the web page up just because of certain things. But anyway, let's see. So support viewing non-geometry data with the viewer node, like volumes and stuff. Support grid inputs in the viewer node. Let's see. Oh, wait, wait, is this just like constant single values? I'll need to take a look at that. Displaying the manage panel optional, new essential assets for 5.0. We'll go over those in a second. Improve socket shapes for bundle and closure nodes. Oh, I'll need to take a look at that. Support for searching string and data block values. I need to look into a lot of these. I should have done that before the stream, but again, due to a lack of time. Add mixed rotation to the add menu. Fixes to essential assets. Yep. All right, let's take a look at the... So these ones are good. Let's go and hide them for the time being. So let's rewind that so I can actually remember what I'm doing. Let me read the chat as well. Did you delete your Discord server? Yes, I did. It's been dead for probably over a year at this point, and it was just dead weight. I was like, let's just chuck it in the bin. So yeah, that's gone. Just unneeded at this point. And I'm taking a step back from a lot of, I guess, Blender social media stuff, which I know I've been saying for a while, but that's just a step in the right direction. It's been just a bit too much, and I'm just gonna be doing a bit less going forward. But yes, let's see. So let's try taking a look at volumes with the viewer node. So apparently, let's go and take a look at a volume cube. Let's have 2 of them, just a bit different. Take a look at that. We can see that and that. Yep, that works. And as far as I know, these will not be rendered. Oh, maybe that was a mistake. This is the latest build of Blender 5.0 that I built myself. If you go onto Blender's website and use the build bot, it should be fine. But these, with the viewers, should not be renderable because of all that fun stuff. Any DLSS news? Last time I heard was that DLSS was just an experiment, and we should not expect it to be merged, at least anytime soon. That was the last that I heard. Let's see. Can you tell where you got the physics branch in Blender? I wasn't able to find its repo to compile it. Check Jacques Luke's Git page, though it is quite old at this point and definitely not coming in Blender 5.0. So it'll be a while before it actually becomes up to I guess it'll need a few updates. So I wouldn't recommend playing around with it just now. There have been many physics builds over the, I guess, maybe a year at this point, maybe a bit longer. But it'll, at the moment, I'll be waiting until, like, the devs say, okay, this one is planned to be merged before, like, going in on that, because it's been a couple of times. So I wouldn't recommend using any of the, I guess, dead-end branches, or they're experimental branches, not necessarily dead ends, because they'll use some of that tech in the eventual branch that will be merged. But at the moment, there are a couple different branches that are being experimented on, and as far as I know, only one that might be considered for like 5.0, 5.2, 5.3. But yes. Yep. Personally, I think group layering needs to be a bit brighter to be more visible, but otherwise I don't have an issue with it. With the node groups, I think the biggest thing will be people saying, wait, why don't I have this node group in my version of Blender? And it'll be because, well, it's a custom node group, not built in. So that'll be the biggest piece of confusion with people doing that. And then with like the icon going, if they can solve like the what's built into Blender versus what isn't, if they can solve that problem, that'll be good. But I can see a lot of confusion coming from that. It on its own as, oh, this is a node group indicator, I'm okay with that. It's subtle. It's not exactly not too in your face with the layering and all that. I think it's good. Some people complained about it, but it seems good to me. Okay, let's go on to the other stuff. Wait, where did all the other things go? Wait, where did all the... Wait, huh? Hello? Did I accidentally, like, cause the rendering to go haywire? Okay, I guess the images just straight up, are gone now. I'm going to assume that's a rendering bug. Unless... Okay, that one's still rendering. Maybe I hit something. Wait, what? Okay, that is odd. Anyway, well, I won't, into that right now. It seems like a lot of things are being shifted around due to the feature sprint. I guess that's what I'm calling it. Yeah, alright, let's go and check the other, let's see, what could we do? Let's add in a string node and then view that. So that, let's see, do that. Outputting a string, let's go and check the spreadsheets. Go, spreadsheet, let's see, where is the viewer node? I'll need to, let's see. Okay, so it does show that. Yeah, okay, just showing a value. Though, if it's connected to a piece of geometry, it doesn't like to do that. Okay. Maybe it does. I'll need to get used to that. Let's see. So it's like that. Okay, so we can select. Oh, okay. There we go. Let's go and use a combine matrix node because matrix viewing has gotten a bit better. Or maybe that didn't get merged yet. Maybe that was a PR. But we can see the matrix right there and it looks pretty good. And yeah, being able to see singular values with the viewer node, that is quite nice. Okay, let's go over a few of the assets. So let's go and select a Bezier curve right here. Go and add in one of the new modifiers, which in this case is the curve to tube. So in this case, oh wait. Whoa. Sorry, this is my first time seeing, wow. I am impressed. Wow. It even lags a little bit when moving the viewport. Wow. What is... Okay. That is a lot to wow. I think this is the first time I've been straight up speechless at a node tree before. Okay, but the goal is to not actually look at the internals, let's just look at the final results. Okay, there's a UV map. Oh, so this is like curved mesh with UVs, and there are end caps, which they can be round or custom. Oh, nice! Okay, so So curved mesh, but as you would, as people have been asking for a while. So we can resample. Okay, fully featured. Sorry, I was just blinded by the amount of nodes in there, but I assume that they are all very, very necessary. Actually, let's go and see. Let's see, there's curve to tube. Oh, these are interesting. Okay, these menus are getting a little bit out of hand. With the generate being there, even though I would assume curve would be in the curve section, array would be the geometry section, but I guess it has to be compatible with both. So that's gonna be interesting. There'll probably be, yeah, no, there's gonna be like the, I guess, detailed geometry node section and then the modifier geometry node section. It'll be interesting to see how that management occurs. Okay, so we have this, and now because these modifiers are based in geometry nodes, we can use them without, well, here. So again, the array modifier, oh wait, I forgot to showcase that. Let's go and put in the new array modifier, which will be replacing the old one. So as we can see, there are widgets, or gizmos, what they're actually called, I think this is the first one to actually use them, so that is quite cool. So we can move that around, we can change the amount, which is very nice to see, and all kinds of fun stuff. And we get more stuff here, like randomize, which before, a lot of these just weren't possible. There's also, I think, circular array. Yes, there is. People have been wanting circular arrays for ages, but now we have it. Just so nice to see. You can change the amount like that. So that is quite nice. Curve, transform. Oh, what's transform? Oh, okay. So this is, I'm assuming, using the accumulate field node. Let's, oh my gosh. Do caps. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that. Big switch, that goes into... Oh wait, you can use a quaternion and then send it straight into a matrix? I did not know that. Okay. It's interesting to see the internals of what would be a regular modifier. That is very cool to see. And quite complex, just with the nature of it. But all this, I assume, is completely needed for something like this. But yeah, we can see new options, new features, and that'll be good. People will enjoy that. Maybe they'll clean on the final version. Oh yeah, I would assume. Oh, we can see that. Oh, that part is a little bit funky with the way that happens. But again, it's so nice having the widgets. We can just manipulate these, move them. But yeah, the new modifiers. We're reaping the rewards of those years of geometry nodes development. Or, I guess some people have said, that I've seen in like comments, are like, oh, why is geometry nodes getting so much attention when most users won't be doing it? It's mainly for the power users, basically. It feels like it was made for me specifically. But now that geometry nodes and the UI part of it are getting into shape, this will be benefiting the average user quite a bit more. Because, well, we can now have much more detailed modifiers that are much easily changed and customized without a lot of hassle. So yeah. Oh, I should also mention that the float curve, like, you know how the bevel modifier has the custom profile with this curve? This will not be coming to geometry nodes in 5.0, probably 5.1, if I had to guess. Just because of, I'm assuming, time limitations. But the UI will be getting there. It's just gonna take a bit more time. But yeah, now things are becoming low Houdini nodes built internally. Sorry, was my microphone facing away from me? Let me go and reposition that to be a bit better. Oh, we have 45 people here. Hello. How's it going? So yeah, we have more nodes to go over, or new modifiers. Let's go and take a look at the instances. So we have instance on elements, which in this case, I'm going to just instance a plane. We can see here it's instancing on the points and retrieving the normals for the rotation. We can keep the surface, we can go in aligned rotation or have a custom one and all that fun stuff. It could be an object or a collection, which I assume you can, yeah, all that fun stuff. And we can set this to be edges, face corners, and all that. Though, I wonder if it works on curves. I assume no. Instance on elements. Yeah, no, it does not support... Well, okay. It supports curve points, but not, like splines and stuff like that, which I don't think is all too needed. Points are just fine. You would have to resample the curve beforehand. So it seems like it's mainly meant for meshes, which is fine. And the transform and all that fun stuff. That's good. Okay, and now, yes, with instances, randomized transforms, which I assume is just as you would expect. Oh, there's also another big thing that happened a while ago. I need to check if that was actually merged. Okay, there was something... The tool view... Okay, maybe not. There was a PR, at the very least, that I saw That meant that node tools might be able to work on objects themselves and treating them as instances. Which meant that you can like select an object and then create more objects based on one, treating it as an instance. Which would be extremely like almost overpowered compared to what I normally expect of geometry nodes. Because you usually don't expect it to go on to the object level. It's just kind of not what geometry nodes is meant for. Now, they are flirting with the idea of that with bundles, getting geometry data and such, but it will be quite interesting to see. Okay, did I miss anything? I think that was geometry input. With this one, it's just like, oh, I'm assuming. Let's see. Replace original. Yeah, if you get geometry put on there, you can make it replace the original, all that. You can keep it as an instance, have it in relative space. So yeah, pretty simple right there, but a nice one for people to have. Again, it seems like the goal is to never have to go inside the geometry node editor, which I agree with, for the average user, because people know the modifier stack, people don't know geometry nodes off base, and it takes quite a while to learn. So I am a big fan of just having nice working geonodes, modifiers. And then, yeah, scatter and surface, all that's fine. Let's take another look at that, just to be sure. Because the default object is just this, which I wonder, what is it actually instancing on here? Because they're instances, and it's a geometry, so they're just like empty objects, but I've never seen that used in here before, so I'm assuming, is that actually just a point? Let's go and take a look at the internals, which we can see here. Oh, it's not too bad. Let's see, with the amounts. Oh, right, because distribute points on faces does not have an amount level, which it's really nice that we have the amount ability, but it seems like they're, let's see. Okay. They're iterate. Oh, okay, that is an interesting setup right there. Okay. Since it's not hard-coded, it seems like they had to implement it with an estimate there. And then density, but what I want to see is what are they using for the default object? They have that, they have a menu for all that, and then that, and then that, and then that, then that, and that, and that. Instance fallback, okay. Though, what is it serving up first? Is that just what happens now when there's nothing on the inside there? And oh right, I can't edit any of that. Shade flat, oh right, it's using the actual shading normals, which is lovely. You love to see it. Okay, maskings like that. I know some people will be like, wait, does it work on deforming geometry? And the answer for that is no. Just with the nature of how this all works, it doesn't work with that. No, a surface deform. Oh wait, we could now make proper actually pretty accurate surface deformers now, using the UV tangent node, and it'll actually be super accurate. That is nice. Okay, curve to tube. We already took a look at that, though. I want to take a look at the UV maps for that. So we don't need to take a look at that. Masking is how you would expect. Randomize. Then with the images, I forget. Can that use... it can't use the internal textures, which I would expect. Okay, randomize. That's all looking phenomenal. That's good. Flipping. Okay, yep. That all seems to be quite good. I'm liking these changes. Let me read the chat again. Let's see. If they use float curve to control the bevel shape node. If bevel comes around, because that's been in the works for quite a while, I would assume that would be included. So I don't foresee the bevel node coming before the UI, the curve input UI and the color ramps. Let's see. I found the node tools pull request, I think. It's currently a draft. Ah, okay. I don't know if I could link you here. That's okay. For some reason, my memory was like, oh wait, that got merged? But there's no shot that that's being merged into 5.0. Not that, I don't think so. Features similar from the NPR branch are currently getting introduced over the 5x period, though currently all the compositor advancements and the shader repeat zones are paving the way. Yes, which, oh right, I do need to take a look at if the shader repeat zones have gotten their performance fixed, because before it was a bit rough. But I'll need to check if that pull request went through. Because before, the way that this works internally, it literally copies all the nodes. So if you have this, you'll have literally 50 copies of the nodes in there, which is extremely inefficient if you just do that raw. But there's some acceleration stuff going in under the hood, at least with Eevee. That was not implemented with the first implementation when I first took a look at it. But they do plan on adding that. I'm not sure if they did yet. There is one way to find out, which is just to, I guess, use a math add node. Yeah, let's go and try the easiest method. If this recalculates when I switch this, then, oh wait, no, it was implemented. Oh, you love to see it. Which means I could go and play around with the fractals, which I will do later on. Any DLSS news? No, don't expect DLSS to be added to Blender anytime soon. Now, there's always a chance it will, but I don't foresee that. Well, okay. From what I know, DLSS was an experiment, not a proposed feature. So I would not expect that in Blender. Maybe it happens, but I would say there is a very, very low chance. Okay. So again, yes, let's take a look at the closures and all that. There were a few bugs that I found during my live stream that were fixed by Jax, which I'm so grateful that the devs are just taking a look at all the bugs, even though I did not make a bug report with that because I was too busy, unfortunately. But it's good to see that those get squashed so quickly. But I want to take a look at the closure shapes inside. Let's see, because in here, oh, maybe they meant like the shape around this part here, or maybe it's just that these are the circular sockets now. Adaptive subdivision is no longer experimental. Ah, if I used cycles, that would be exciting news. Nah, I do use cycles, but it's that's for professional occurrences. Whoops, I'm sorry if you heard that. I was moving my mic again. Because the way I position my mic, it needs to be in front of my face. But right now, it's right between me and chat. So I keep having to move my head. Let's see. But the new shading features are coming to 5.0, because I thought they said the project won't start till 2026. New shading features. Right now, the shader repeat zones are in. These are already in. They will be making it into 5.0, which is great. We've been waiting for these for a long time. But I think you're referring to like the constant values, like when, well, node groups become useful in the shader editor, for like stuff like textures and all that. Let's go and get image texture. Like texture sockets here, those require singular values for the menu inputs here. Actually, wait, the menu switch is in, isn't it? Yes, we now have menu switches in the shader editor, which is one part from geometry nodes that I truly didn't expect. But it's to make node groups more useful in the shader editor. Now there is quite a ways to go, but it's always good to see. There's also a new add button right here, which is nice to see, and all of that. Okay, what was I going to do before I went on this tangent? Let's see. I think it's up to NVIDIA because since their implementation is proprietary. Oh, right, yeah. I saw something about that. Since DLSS is proprietary, it kind of goes against Blender's like licensing stuff for it to be added. So yeah, I wouldn't expect DLSS to be coming around to Blender natively anytime soon. There's always a chance that like NVIDIA makes their own little implementation for Blender, maybe a custom build. Let's see. Okay, I think that was most of the stuff. Let's take a look at the compositor. Oh, right, the compositor got a lot. So I think the compositor is like the biggest part of Blender 5.0, or like at the past couple of versions, it's gotten a major overhaul where it's become so much more useful, mostly by Omar here, so we're very grateful to them for that. But yes, add a kernel convolution mode to the glare node, rotor inputs, clarify alpha over and all that. But also, let's see, let me check if I noted that here. Do we actually, let's go over these node things and then we can go over the compositor because that is a big thing. Okay, new node swap operator by Quackaroony, which that's always cool to see. New operators to join group input nodes, rewrite the, yeah, all that stuff. Radial tiling node, yes, I need to go over that. So this is for the shader editor and the geonode editor, well, at least I think. Usually shader editor nodes get ported to geonodes. But let's go and get the radial tiling node and take a look at it. So this takes in a two-dimensional input. Let's take a look. Now output, let me go and make the UV map quite a bit bigger so that we can see what the heck is going on. Let's go to geometry nodes and we can see that this is radial tiling. We can go and set the roundness and stuff like that. It'll help with things like making hexagons and all that. But it's useful for quite a bit more and I haven't tapped into all of its potential. But if we separate XYZ, we can see that this now, you know, we can make different shapes, different kinds of polygons, then tile these however we need, but we also get the segment coordinates so that we can radial tiling, so that we can make hexagons of hexagons, which if I go and use an add node, we would be able to see, yeah, more like that. And it outputs a, I guess a sign distance field, kind of. Oh yeah, no, it does. Yep. Actually, what is it basing 0 on? That's interesting. So in a way, you're getting a SDF output for that. In a way. I should really fact check that before I say it. But yeah, there you go. So a very nice rounded polygons, but it can do a lot more. I think there was an accompanying node group that the person who made this PR was intending to go along with this, but I haven't seen it yet. I have not looked into that. You can also normalize the results, which in this case, we can see just does that. So, wait a second, why is, okay. Wait, that part's not normalized. That is intriguing. Greater than? Oh, okay. So that part is normalized. Oh, no, I get it now. That's so that if it's normalized, we'll see that fraction. Oh, yeah. Let's make these actually hexagons instead of pentagons. Let's go and take a look. So here, this will just change the, I guess, distance to be a bit more accurate. So that is that. Looking good. Again, just doing all that. So that's fun. It can do a lot more, but I am not entirely sure just yet. Okay. Also, if you put on a nice little wrap node here, we can get some funny results. So if we set this to be like 1 and -1, we can see, actually I need to hone that in quite a bit. Oh wait, I did that on the wrong side. There we go. Let's connect that there, there, and there. Yes, there we go. So here we can see that the wrap has made radial tiling a little bit better right there. 0.5, 0.5, and then you can just do all that. So that is fun. Let's take a look at the other parts. So again, lots of technical stuff right there. Add button and switch nodes. Okay, yep. Menu switch labels, and then all that. Remove swap menu from editor. Group inputs. Support searching for group inputs. That'll be quite nice. Optional labels. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's cool. Wait a second. What was that other one? Right, the switch. So, do we have the... There's the menu switch. Is there the index switch? Oh no, we don't have the index switch in the shader editor. That's interesting. I thought that would have been implemented before the menu switch. Well, that's cool. Okay. Maybe it's because the index switch would need non-singular values. Who knows? Okay. Let's see. Let's read the chat again. Node parity between editors is getting closer and closer. Thankfully, closures and bundles are in shaders now too, right? Yes. Thanks for the stream. A short video on bundles and closures is much needed. There's little info available. Ah, that is because I am still trying to figure out bundles right now, because apparently there's like the little use for bundles where it's just like, oh, you go and put in all of your vectors and I'll make them into a nice little bundle right here, and then you can go and separate the bundle and then you get them right there. But apparently, these bundles may become the most useful nodes in the near future. These may be able to access a lot more, particularly in geometry nodes, where this may be able to get a lot more data than you would expect. Though, that is for the future, and I do not know how that works yet. For the closure, that's just like a portable node group in a sense. I guess that's how you can think about it. Where it's like, oh, vector input, vector output. If you go and evaluate the closure, it'll just be, oh, you get that. So it's like a node group, but it can be a socket. So you can attach different functionality to that, and it'll work out. So that is cool to see. That is that. Let's go and move over to the Compositor. So there's quite a bit going on there. Fortunately, I made a full build so I can do this. So we can see here that use nodes is now gone, and now we just have a new Compositor node tree. So here, let's see, there's the glare node, which has, you can do a kernel right here, which you can put in a kernel. I forgot, yeah, that could be a color. So with kernels, these can crash your computer very easily, but it allows you to make custom glow patterns. So if you want it to be like a lens flare or something like that, you can just put in a kernel, and that's quite cool. Apparently it uses fast Fourier transform under the hood. A friend of mine was like, ooh, they added that. Hopefully they added just regular fast Fourier transforms to the shader editor. But I think that would be, I think that's a bit too deep for the Compositor at this time. Let's see. So there is just the convolve node, which does something similar to this one, because it has a similar kernel and all that. But there is cool stuff going on right there. Wait. Let's go back to the GeoNodes tab. Okay. So that right there, reorder inputs, clarify bokeh blur, reintroduce that, make distinction. Okay. Let's go back to Compositor. So let's take a look at the alpha over node. A lot of the nodes have gotten their inputs swapped. So I know this will annoy some people being like, wait, why is the mode not on the top? But I think this is fine. Like, some people will want the operation to be number 1, which I can see how that would be more useful. But the foreground and the background got updated, and a lot of other nodes have gotten some adjustments as well. There we go. DLSS, wait. Where's DLSS update? Oh my gosh, dude. Calm down. I've already answered that 3 times today. DLSS do not expect it anytime soon. It's proprietary NVIDIA software, so it probably won't be implemented into Blender by the Blender devs. So, yeah. Don't get your hopes up for that. Convolve node will be very versatile. With crop nodes, you can easily create 3x3 pixel kernels, etc. Yes, and I think that's why I crashed my computer before, because I put in like I just put in a straight up image, which you should not do. That's very, very laggy. Put in a very, 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 very small image for it to work. Do I even dare do that right now? I think that might be a very bad idea. Okay. Though, let's go and take a look at the video editing setup. So let's go to the sequencer, video editing, let's add in a new, ooh, okay. That's new as well. Let me go and get a nice render of mine. Let's see. Man, I really need to put my social media renders into the my actual rendered videos folder. Let's see, which one would be good? Let's have the bird. This one's nice. You transform set to standard. Nice, automatically converting to that. I also saw, I'm not sure if this actually was implemented yet, but I think there was something about like setting it so that you would actually choose if you were rendering the world or the sequencer, because before it was kind of implicit. If there was anything here, it would just override it, which wasn't the best design, but I think that's being implemented. I'm not sure. But yes, big thing. We now have Compositor modifiers, which means that we can have basically compositing setups on our video sequence stuff here. So that is very, very cool. Let's see. Let's go to our compositor right here. Let's go and swap it to be our sequencer nodes right here. We can see that we have our image in our mask. So here we can put in some bloom. So I feel like this is a precursor to like having just regular modifiers in like our render tab. So yeah, it definitely seems like a precursor to that. Let's go to the highlights and turn down the threshold so that we can get some lovely bloom going. Now it should be noted that this is running on, I think it's running on the CPU at this time. Probably should be GPU by default, I think. Yeah, there we go. So let's see, tool. Let's see. So it will lag. Because actually, wait a second. I think here it's also still running on the CPU. So yeah, that's probably not great. But it'll cache, so that'll be okay. Some people might just yeah. I'll need to look into that a bit more. But again, having modifiers so that you can like say, oh, I want to go and hue shift my video right here. Using the HSV node. HSV, or no. Hue, saturation value. There we go. That one. So here we can just adjust all this. And I know there are like regular old modifiers to do this, but we have so much more control with this. Like we'll be able to do a lot here. I guess, yeah, even the convolve node would work here as well. Also, the sunbeams has been removed and then implemented into the glare node. We can see, wow, this is lagging a ton. I'm assuming, once again, because it is running on the CPU, and I don't think there's a way to GPU accelerate it at this time. Though... Come on, buddy. What are we working with here? So we have that and that. My computer is revving up big time, which... Wait a second. If it's revving up, that means that it's using the GPU, usually. Or maybe it's just using the CPU a lot. Yeah, maybe some things need to be adjusted, but for the time being, no, that is definitely using the CPU and not the GPU. No shot other than that. But having the ability to have these modifiers is amazing and great and incredible. So if we turn this off, we can see that that's just running normally, and that is great. So again, you can turn those off and on. Oh, but they're... okay. Maybe they'll add in like the viewing, enabled in the viewing, and then renders and stuff like that, because you usually, given how slow these are at the moment, I would expect people to have them disabled most of the time and only have them enabled in the render. Yeah, maybe that'll come around. Let's see. Let's go back to... Your nodes tab. Am I missing anything else? No, I don't think so. I should pull up the Blender 5.0 changelog because I have not checked up on that in a while. Release stocks. There we go. Oh, also, I think grids. Let me check the GeoNodes tab because I think grids are actually out of experimental and might actually be usable in 5.0. Grid. No, I want the... yes. Okay. So, yes, grids do exist. So we can read a grid, we can set and all that. Okay, so there may be a lot more for me to do with all of this. SDF grid boolean. Okay. So are those, wait, let me check if those are actually implemented. Because I do have a habit of having all the experimental stuff enabled. No, okay, never mind. Node previews, nope. Okay, I'm gonna turn off everything besides that. So in this case, I don't think grids are in. Yeah, no, okay, no, never mind. Grids are not in. Those will probably be pushed back to another update. Let's see. Now we just need lists. That'll probably be in 5.0. I had notes that I wanted to make for 5.0 that used string lists, but that won't be happening. Okay, let's take a look at all of that. So I'm taking a look at the 5.0 changelog. Pack UV islands. Repeat zones have a new color. Ooh, lovely. Bundles and closures. The gamma node supported string to value. All right, string to value. People have been wanting that for a long time. String to value. So you can put in a value like da. No output either a float value. And of course it's not evaluated. Oh wait, we can actually take a look at this with the viewer node. Lovely. Viewer node. You okay, buddy? Oh, maybe it's because it's not actually being evaluated? Oh no, okay. No, it is being evaluated. Oh wait, no, that's the button I click. Okay, okay. I was just being quite dumb. There we go. So there we go. It can be, you can get the length of the thing. It can be an integer, so that's nice and fun. So yeah, people will do quite a bit of fun stuff with that. Let's see. Display the manage. Yeah, I already went over that. Yeah, new node groups and all that. Let me check the compositor changelog. Oh, okay, so a few changes with all of that. The splits part right here. Actually, let's go and change this to be the sequencer. There we go. This now supports a rotation, which will be cool. No blur, though. Wait, is there like a mask for? Wow. Yeah, no, this is definitely using the CPU, because that was not nearly that slow before. Let's go and change this to be 1024, just to make it a bit. Wait, I thought that would have updated automatically. Could I have been wrong about that? Maybe it's because it's cached? I am not sure. But that now has a rotation input, which is cool to see. Alpha over, we already went over that. New alpha over modes. New glares for the sunbeams, went over that. Convolve. And then there's the modifier there. Yep, just looking through all of this. Few updates. Glare is becoming more stable. That's good. Composite node was removed and replaced by a group output node. Oh, right. Yeah, that's cool. There's new file output stuff. So let me go back into compositing. So there's the file output node, which you can do that, and it has a lot of outputs and stuff like that. I don't know a lot about it, but I will be testing that. Let's see. UI improvements. Some nodes are removed. Or some options are removed. Okay. Depreciated nodes are removed. Okay. So that's all of that. Let's check Evian viewports. Let's see. You can see the grid in the viewer node now. Yes, yes you can. We took a look at that before. Okay. Wait, what was I looking at? Okay, Eevee. Okay. Oh, big thing with Eevee. And I guess the viewport as well. Let's go back to GeoNodes. Curves now are rendered properly, which I've... Okay. What happened there? It seems like there may be some weird, Oh, no, that was because of the viewer node. Yep. Let's go and add in some, fur to this object. We should see that now if I set the curve rendering type to be strip or cylinder, which I'm not sure. Oh, the cylinder is also supported. Okay, good. If I go and manipulate the radius, we can see that the radius actually works now. Curves actually render properly now, while before they did not. So rendering or seeing curves properly in the viewport was not great. If you had a curve that had like a high resolution, it would automatically be reduced, which was not great. Even if you had max subdivisions, you just straight up could not see the final look of your curve outside of edit mode and I think cycles, if I'm correct. And then all that is good. So rendering is now supported. That is very, very nice. For the curve rendering, let's see, what else was there? Let's go. Uh-oh. Something's lagging. I think it's just booting up that way. Where's that? Uh-oh. That might be a bug. For material has no output. Is that actually a bug? Let's go to curve info. So all this will work as you expect. You get the tangent and the normal. Let's take a look at this here. We have that, 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 we have that. So all that should work quite well. For the UV map, this should give us the UV map of the surface that it's on originally, because we have the surface UV coordinate attribute, which is always good to see. And then for like the geometry, we have all this. Let's see, we're almost at an hour, which is good, but yeah, a lot of features. That's good. Let's see. Checking a few more things. Yeah, 5.0, a lot of good stuff for assets. Physics, let's see what's in the physics category. Point caches, okay, so more technical stuff. A lot of breaking stuff with the Python API, go and take a look at that. Whenever there's a big change, like for Blender 4.0 to 5.0, they like to do some necessary API changes. Oh, wait. There's some new stuff with the world. So let's go over to the world and go to the sky texture. The sky texture got quite a few changes. Sundisk is not available in Eevee. Oh, that hasn't been updated yet. Oh, I thought that would have been possible with the way, or maybe it's automatically included? I don't know. Let's go and take a look. I think it should be there. Yeah, no, the sun is kind of automatically deduced. So that is, that's funny. It won't be directly input, but yeah. Let's take a look at the, for again, let's go and use the principled BSDF, connect that there. So that we can take a look at that. Actually, let's make the, it's a bit larger. How do we do that? Nope, that's just that. Scale, let's make that 5. What? Nope, that's that. Press hair curves distance. We have made a sponge. Perfect, or like a weird rug. I've seen rugs like that before. Oh, green. Cool. Let's keep that like that, so that we just have a weird cube. But yes, the sky texture has changed. It's a lot more blue than it was previously. Let's go to, yeah, multiple scattering. So single scattering looks more like this, and then multiple scattering looks more like this. This looks a bit more, quite a bit more realistic. We changed the elevation of the sun. You should see. Yeah, it looks a lot more like that. Quite realistic compared to, again, single scattering, which looks like that. And then what else do we have? Altitude. Let's go and set the altitude to be 10,000 meters. So we can have a nice look there. But yeah, that's looking quite good. Quite good. Okay, radial tiling. We already went over that. Point density texture. Point density texture node was removed and is replaced with geometry nodes, which offers more efficient rendering as a sparse volume. Okay, I'm assuming that's like a really old legacy thing. Improved baking with multi-res. So yeah, stuff like that. Okay, that's good. And again, the repeat zone, we'll go and do that in a little bit. There's sculpting changes, multi-resolution. Let's see. I'm expecting some performance improvements as well. I heard quite a bit about that. Lots of UI changes as well. Actually, I'll just go and put this in the chat because I would highly recommend. Let's see. I would highly recommend you all taking a look through that because I can't get into everything today. But from what I can see here, oh, that's an interesting shading thing right there with the normals. That's cool. Okay, I'm going to temporarily disappear and open up the fractal file, because now it should be quite a bit better than the first time I took a look at it with the exponentially slow repeat zone. But that should be fixed now, at least in Eevee. Maybe in Cycles it's a bit better. So okay, we're here, let's take a look, boot it up. And as we can see, okay, yes, much better. Didn't take too long. We can go down and oh wait. Oh wait a minute, maybe I was. Oh wait, I was wrong. Okay. It has that PR has not been implemented yet. Okay, let's go back a quick moment. I'll recover autosave because I forgot to save my test scene. Okay. Nope, that was the wrong one as well. Ah, here we are. Okay, we are back. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, there are a million updates. It's huge. Yes, 5.0 is a big update. And so many features will be implemented within the next week because it's the last push before Blender 5.0 goes into beta. And the only thing that can happen is bug fixes. They'll just be bug fixing for like a month or two. And then it'll be released, and then 5.0 will get started, and then there will be a lot of features in that one as well. Okay. Let's see. We are pretty much at an hour, so that'll be fun. Okay, I have a question. Is it possible to create walk cycles with geometry nodes? I'm thinking multi-leg creatures like spiders, ants, and such. Funny you should mention that. I did that like 2 to 3 years ago. Well, it is possible. There are points where I would say it's not too convenient, especially because the attribute constraint doesn't exist and will not exist for at least another half year with all that. Because if you have a character that's rigged, you'll need to transfer the geometry node data to the object or bone level, which unfortunately is not convenient whatsoever because triangle parenting is needed. And apparently, from what I've heard, the attribute constraint that I've been working on will probably not make it into 5.0. We got so close again and again and again, but stuff kept popping up, and then right as it was about to get in, there was like a meeting at the Blender conference, which I wish I went to. Unfortunately, with the way work has been going, I could not attend. But there's a good chance, well, the eventual version will be possibly able to access a lot more data than just the attributes. The version that would have been simple and just, okay, you get attribute data and put it on the object level, probably won't be in 5.0, if I had to guess. Did you see the Beacon talk about rigging nodes? Wasn't that an add-on? I forget if I watched that thing, but actual rigging nodes that are fully supported by Blender don't exist and probably won't exist for the next while. I would assume that it's more of like a animation node situation where it's an add-on using like a custom node methodology for it. Mantis nodes is an add-on and is more of a node-based auto rigger. Ah, okay, yeah, yeah, so it's an add-on, not an official, nothing official there. Okay, but yes, lots of amazing things coming in 5.0. We'll be keeping an eye on all of that. But yes, keep an eye on all the commits because there will be a lot more in the next week. Because a lot of things were in development, and then during this last little push, all of those will be committed into main, and then I'll have to do another one of these videos next week, and that'll be cool to see. Let's see, did I miss anything else? Pipeline input and output. Okay, some changes to OBJs, a few to FBX. Oh, okay, FBX now has a C++ based importer, so that'll be faster. Some improvements to USD. Alembic got the attribute update for points only, not actual meshes, which it's good that we have that. That means it's at least possible to get other types of data besides just the weird default ones as Alembics. A lot of files, okay, images and movies, okay, and more image types. Good to see, good to see. Yeah, I think that'll be everything for today. So, thank you all for watching, I hope you all enjoyed. Go play around with the new modifiers coming in Blender 5.0. And there will probably be quite a few more. Some nice little, almost presets for, that stuff. Wait, where's the... Curve to tube. There we go. So again, right here, we can go and set the, what is it, Alt-R? How do we... No, that's Control-T. Control... How do we set the radius again? Oh, I'll just use the handy-dandy thing right here, because that's how it's supposed to be. Easy. Resample. Let's go to round, because I want to see... material? Is there any material? What does it get the material there? Is that... Oh, that automatically transfers. Okay. I did not expect that. Cool. Let's go and take a look at the UV map, which... Hey, the UV map exists! Now, there's some pinching there, but that's to be expected. That is unavoidable, as far as I know. Caps are round. Is there a way to set the... resolution of that? Oh. Wait, is there a way? Oh, okay. So that is tied with that. Ah, interesting. Okay. So yeah, there we go. A curve to mesh with UVs. You love to see it. But let's go and check that cyclic curves work? Question mark? Let's go and use a fraction node to double check some of this. Ah, it uses the length. Let's go to factor, and then there is also the index mode, which right now factor and index aren't really doing anything beyond that, which is to be expected. But yeah, no, this is better than my other curve to mesh node, so that is good to see. There's custom, which is an object. Ah, okay. So a geometry-based input would be... Yeah, no, that would have to be different for a node-based setup. But yeah, that is cool. That is so cool. Like, or actually, what if in the geometry node part, it already has that input? Actually, yeah, let's go and take a look at that. How much do these differ? Right, geometry nodes is on the bottom now. Tube. Wait, why are there two of them? Tube? Ah, okay, okay, that's a little duplication right there. Let's see, there's, okay, only round and custom. Okay. Oh, input object in geometry. Okay, so it is different. Good. So, one node to rule them all there. That is cool to see. The custom, yep, and that only shows up in the node-based version. As expected. Okay, factor, and then that is the index. Then, oh yeah, the length. Okay, that is very cool to see. I did not expect that to even be possible. Actually, wait, how does that work? Oh gosh. Light radius. And the UVs. Okay, those are stored on the face corner. Okay, that doesn't seem to be too expensive. For the custom profile. Okay, that is as expected. How are you putting in the material automatically? Apparently it's just transferring from the curve, which I truly didn't expect to happen. Oh, how does that happen? Where is said material? Can't exactly search for nodes at this time, I don't think. In the tree. Where's the actual... Okay. Where's the actual original curve geometry input? Ah, here it is. So yeah, I guess the material just propagates through there. How about that? And they're not using any stored names attributes, which leads to this spaghetti right here. Which, I guess they could have just used like a store named attributes and then removed them afterwards, but... Well, this is so much spaghetti, no one will be able to decipher this. Not saying that's necessarily a bad thing if the performance is better, but there's a big... This is the reason why I like the stored named attribute nodes. I guess maybe bundles could make this a little bit cleaner. But yes. But yeah, no, I'm not suggesting that this should be changed. It seems perfect as is. The UV maps work very well. It's better than what I have done with my curve to mesh UV setup. So I'm so grateful that we have this. It's so cool to see. And if I can actually make good curve geometry, can see that, yes. It works, and it works well. Yay. Okay, so I think that'll be everything for today. Thank you all for watching. Go play around with the new nodes and the modifiers and the assets and the compositor. And I will see you all next time. Have a good one.